Now, this is one of those recipes where I just ended up making it because I wake up one morning and just get vaps and just create something different, do something different instead of my regular bread. So I decided to make bagels, ended up posting a picture on social media, and then everybody was like, you have to share the recipe. So this is the recipe that I'm sharing. So let me jump into it one time. I have here 1 3/4 cups of warm water, starting off with that, and I'm going to add to it 3 teaspoons of yeast, give that a little stir, and we'll set this aside. For the dry ingredients, we're going in with 4 cups of flour, all-purpose flour. And you want to make sure and flatten the top of the measuring cup before adding the flour to get a precise measurement. No, mounds of flour, because that will obviously be more than 4 cups. So you want to make sure and level off the top before you add the flour in. So precisely 4 cups of flour. Add into that 2 teaspoons of salt. We're just going to use a whisk to combine the salt and the flour. Alright, so now we're going to make a little well in the middle of our flour. We're going to add our water and yeast mixture. And before I finish adding the water and the yeast to the dough, I'm also going to add 1 tablespoon of blackstrap molasses. Now, the recipe that I was following called for malt syrup or brown sugar, but when I tried this the first time, I decided, you know what, I'm gonna try this blackstrap molasses and see how it come out, and I find it came out pretty good, so I'm using this. But of course, if you have brown sugar, you could use brown sugar instead of using this if you do have this on hand. And of course, you just want to go in with your hands and make sure everything is well combined. Alright, so now that our dough has come together in the bowl, I'm going to transfer it to our work surface and continue kneading it for 8 to 10 minutes. Okay, so 10 minutes has passed. We have a nice smooth dough going on here. So I'm just going to get my bowl, add a little bit of oil to the bowl, prevent the dough from sticking. We're going to place our dough into our bowl, cover it with some plastic wrap, and we're going to let this rest for about 1 hour. Alright, so now that our dough has rested for 1 hour, now divide this dough into 8 equal pieces. Now, well, I mean equal-ish. You don't have to use a scale to measure it or anything like that. You could eyeball it. Alright, so we have our dough portioned out into 8 pieces here. So what we want to do now is actually form the bagels. So what you're going to do is punch a hole into the middle of it like so, and then just kind of twirl it on your index finger, and as simple as that. That is how you form your bagel. And you could make the hole as big or as small as you want. I don't like to make it too big, so I think that this is a good size for me right here. Alright, so now that we have all our bagels formed here, the next step is to boil them. Okay, so we have a pot of water at a rolling boil here. So what I want to do is add about a tablespoon of the blackstrap molasses to the water. Give that a little mix. And in addition to adding some more flavor to the bagels, it will also help caramelize the outside of the bagel and give you that kind of shiny coating that bagels are known for. Yeah. So don't skip this step. And of course, as I said before, if you don't have the blackstrap molasses, you could use honey, you could use agave, or you could use brown sugar. I'm gonna add our bagels in. So the bagels have been cooking for about 90 seconds, and you'll know when they're ready as they start to float to the top. And I mean, at this point, I know it's looking a little obzucky, looking like dumplings, but don't worry, trust me, trust the process, it'll be fine. Just gonna place them on a rack here, placing the others in. 4. So yeah, again, you're cooking them for about 1 minute to 2 minutes, but you will know that they're ready as soon as they float to the top. All right, these are ready to go as well. And I'm not going to lie to you, the first time I tried this recipe and I reached to this stage of the cooking process, I really thought that, you know, it was a total failure, did something wrong, and, you know, it was just going to be a disaster. But trust me, I know it's looking like a train wreck right now, but trust the process, it will come together. So at this point, I just want to move this aside and let's make a little egg wash. Just gonna crack 1 egg into this bowl. Just give it a whisk. On this plate, I'm gonna put some tuxedo sesame seeds, that's the black and the white. And I have some zaatar seasoning here, a little zaatar seasoning blend that I made myself. Just gonna put a little on this plate. Alright, so now just dip and then onto the sesame seeds here, onto our tray. Zaatar seasoning, yeah. And well, my tray only big enough to hold 6 at a time, so I'll bake these off first and then I'll bake the other 2 after. So I'm gonna pop this in the oven at 425 degrees for 20 to 25 minutes. At the 10 to 12 minute mark, we wanna flip the tray around to make sure that we get even cooking on the bagels. So into the oven, 425 degrees for 12 minutes. And then at the 12 minute mark, we're gonna flip the tray around and then let it cook for another 12 minutes. So our bagels are out of the oven. Had them cooling while I take my B-roll, my footage and my photos and that kind of thing. But remember I told you to trust the process. We trusted the process and now here we are. Look at that. We're looking real good. I find we're looking real good. Mightn't be the perfect shape. You understand? Each of them might have their own character, like the tostones, you know, like a snowflake. But still, I find we're looking pretty good, pretty good. You have the nice, shiny exterior that bagels are known for, and that comes from boiling the bagels and using the, well, in my case, molasses. But if you use like the honey, agave, or you could use brown sugar, you'll get that nice caramelization on the outer crust. And you know, that's signature for a bagel. And when we cut into it, it should be nice and soft. You know, a little dense, but still soft, as bagels known to be. So let me cut into one of these and see what it's saying. Again, nice and sturdy, as a bagel known to be. And inside, we have that nice bready finish. Kind of dense, again, as bagels known for, but still soft. Look at that crumb structure, look at the texture that we have on the inside. I think this is a pretty good bagel. At least better than anything you could buy in the frozen section in the grocery and carry home and, you know, reheat and that kind of thing. This is a proper showing. I have a little chunky cheese base here. I'm just gonna spread. Now waiting for a taste. So yeah, we're definitely on point here. We have that dense but soft interior, a nice little crust on the outside, a little caramelization, and a slight sweetness from the molasses, but then the salt also adding flavor to the bagel. This proper, this rare proper. So if baking at home is your scene, trust me, this is a recipe that you want to try. You know, something a little different to your usual bread. I can make bagels for breakfast as a nice little snack. And while I was making this, I was thinking how I could make this a little more local, because you know this is an international thing. How I could take a recipe like this and make it a little more local. And I have a little idea, and I feel it could work. So in our upcoming video, stay tuned. I'll try to do a little experiment and bring you all along for the journey. So look out for that one. But in the meantime, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, give it a share. If you want to see the full recipe, check out the link in the video description, or it will be on eatahfoodtt.com. And as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Mm-hmm.